Dragon Ball Super Episode 96 has arrived, the time has come. To the world of Void, where the universe's fate will be decided. What a long title. Toki wa kita, uchu no meiyun wo kake mu no sakai e. So the gods gather in the stage of the Tournament of Power, and then all the other contestants arrive as well, creating quite a bit of hype for this tournament coming up, and for the next episode when the fighting and the tournament actually begins. So we start off with, which is very interesting, the gods concerned about the integrity of this stage, which they should be. There's going to be massively powerful people here fighting, and of course the stage is probably going to take quite a beating. So Daishinkan shows up and says, you can test it if you want, you know, and then we have this really cool God of Destruction fight between the Fox, the ET God of Destruction, and the Piece of Lint. This fight was awesome, and the animation in it was really fluid. I liked their attacks a lot, their choreography was great, and it was pretty intense, and they were destroying the stage, of course, they're gods of destruction, so they're more powerful than your average massively powerful person. So it's understandable, even though the Daishinkan explained that, oh, this material is from Universe 7, it's super durable. So he's bragging about this material, which just is destroyed easily from the Gods of Destruction fight. But it was pretty funny how the Daishinkan basically made them repair the damage that they caused, because he has to go open the gates, apparently. But that was a lot of fun, and actually made me think too, because Gods of Destruction aren't supposed to fight each other, because they could potentially destroy the universe or something like that. But I guess that doesn't happen in the world of Void, maybe? So they could just battle to their heart's content. And it was also interesting how the Fishman God of Destruction didn't participate in the fight, like he knew he's stronger than them or something like that. But it kind of adds a little bit of mystery for the future. So that was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed the music in that scene as well. I thought it was very fitting. So then we get to another cool scene, Frieza finally being reintroduced to the group of people who he has killed before. And I loved him and Vegeta's dynamic in this. And Vegeta starts talking smack and saying that the halo looks really good on Frieza, and you see like how tense Frieza gets during that. Great stuff. And during this scene, you see Yamcha kind of sneaking around. Man, poor guy. I felt so bad for this guy. Like, all of his friends are just leaving him out of this and hardly even mentioning anything about it to him. The only reason he knows about it is because he overheard. So he reminded me of like the kid during recess that doesn't get picked for the kickball team. So he kind of has to just sit over by himself and watching the rest of the team play. I just felt really bad for him at this point. But moving on, Gohan and the Supreme Kai go over their quote-unquote plan, their brilliant plan of ganging up on the other contestants of the tournament. Brilliant. Like, who would have thought of such a great strategy of just, if there's one guy, make sure there's two people fighting him. So I thought that plan was kind of funny, and I feel like they're not going to follow it. Maybe the weaker guys will, like Roshi Tien and Krillin will follow that. I feel that, of course, 17, Vegeta, and Goku, Frieza, are just going to do their own thing, whatever the fuck they want. You know, they're not going to follow the plan. They're going to feel like they don't need to follow the plan. Like, the other universes will use that plan against them. So we'll see if this plan actually means anything in the future. And so following up with Vegeta's dynamic with Frieza in this scene, Whis says, everybody get it in a circle and hold hands. And you see Vegeta's face, and he's like, I have to get in a friendship circle with Frieza? That was so fucking... I had to pause the episode so I could laugh my ass off. That was so funny. Possibly my favorite part of the episode. So they finally get in their friendship circle, and Whis just teleports to them. I'm curious to know where the cube is that they used for the Universe 6, because they needed the cube to go there, but I guess they don't need it to go to the World of Void. I just thought that was kind of an interesting and a side thought that I had. And when they finally arrive, the Gods of Destruction are repairing the stage, and they find out that there is no flight even on the stage, which I was curious about before. I thought there wasn't going to be any flight outside of the stage, so that way you would fall into the World of Void instead of just flying back into the stage. So that was really interesting, unless of course flying is your physical capability, like if you have wings or something like that, and they pointed that out and they covered that kind of hole. And then Frieza and Frost meet up, oh boy. Goku meets Kaulifla and Kale, and those were pretty interesting. And I thought it was funny how Frieza and Frost were like, oh, you look like me. Are you evil like me too? Yep. Ooh, do you want to do evil things together? Okay. That was kind of humorous, but it seems to be foreshadowing something that I probably not gonna like, and that's gonna be Frieza and Frost doing something or manipulating the gods or doing something somehow to interrupt this tournament, and them being like the main antagonists of this tournament, and I'm not gonna like that very much. So then a really, really badass scene starts. They sense it before, and you see the surprise on their faces, and then Universe 11 shows up, and they can sense the power of these guys, or at least of just Jiren. So Goku goes up to introduce himself to Jiren and Toppo, and Jiren just appears right behind Goku, showing off how fast he is. I'm glad there wasn't any frames in between that. If you saw my last episode preview, I was talking about the whole Beerus appearing behind Frieza thing. This time there were no frames, so Jiren appeared instantly behind Goku, showing off how fast he is. And then the Gods of Destruction decide to pick up the pace, and the blocks are flying super fast around. Goku dodges, but Jiren doesn't, showing off how perceptive he is, I guess. So that was good for his character, and definitely hyping up his character to be a major badass in this tournament. The other universes show up. We finally get to see the designed characters of all the fighters. Enjoyable character designs, and Goku mentions the guy from Yarjarat. So I'm thinking, okay, so is this twin universe thing completely out the window now? Or did these Yarjarat guys like use their instant transmission to travel to Universe 7? Because really, Yarjarat should exist in Universe 6 and Universe 7, but not Universe 2. So who knows, they might have traveled across the multiverse to go to Universe 7 of all places, who knows. And Universe 4 shows up with only 8 fighters, but Tien mentions that he can sense another energy, but he only says one other energy, so that would make 9 people. So maybe this is like Tien's main foe during the tournament or something. And they have an invisible guy, so that might be interesting. Maybe Roshi will need to get his weakness of women back so that he can nosebleed all over the invisible guy so that they can see him and defeat him. Although it would have been cool to have Yamcha fight him instead of Tien. That would be a nice Dragon Ball throwback. In the show Universe 9, I guess they were able to get their 10 fighters. Last time I saw, they could only find the 3 fighters, so they really hustled it up and got those other guys there. So then they introduced Universe 7, and I couldn't help. Look at Frieza's face right here. This is so funny looking. I got a good laugh out of that. So that's really all that happened in this episode. During the preview, you know, it looks like Goku abandons his plan to go to fight Jiren. It just shows Jiren like standing there, you know, checking out the battles, you know, getting a lay of the land, so to speak. And they're hyping this guy up to be a major player, like, we don't know how we're gonna beat this guy kind of thing. So this episode was really just a hype episode, because nothing happened other than everybody arriving at the stage. However, it was still enjoyable, it wasn't boring at all, and it was still entertaining. So, what did you think of this episode in the comments? I thought it was fun. So as always, I hope you liked the review, and subscribe to the channel for more. I'll see you later.